It's not very often that we come across folds in the posterior capsule in the postoperative period following cataract surgery. I'd like to discuss a case wherein we saw folds in the postoperative period, and I'd like to discuss the visual implications that arose as a result of this. This patient, as you can see, presented to us in the postoperative period with folds in the posterior capsule. This patient was extremely dissatisfied with the quality of vision, presented with suboptimal vision, and complained of seeing lines in his visual field as well as distortion of lights when he looked at headlights. On performing a ray tracing aberrometry, we found an obvious drop in the dysfunctional lens index, signifying something wrong in the area of the lens, as well as the drop of the contrast sensitivity as a result of the lens itself. Thus, we need to be mindful that folds seen in the postoperative period following cataract surgery can be an important cause of suboptimal postoperative vision. Let's now watch a surgical case wherein we see folds in the posterior capsule towards the end of surgery. We start the surgery following the implantation of the IOL. Following an uneventful phacoemulsification, the surgeon has implanted a single-piece monofocal IOL in the capsular bag. Following the completion of the IOL implantation, you can see these folds in the posterior capsule. Upon looking closer, you will realize that these folds are in line with the midpoint of both the haptics. Let's proceed with the visco wash. When we push the IOL posteriorly with the help of the aspiration cannula, as you can see here, the folds vanish. Once more, when the chamber shallows a little, the folds reappear. This is what you will see in this part of the video. Clearly, the haptics of the implanted intraocular lens are stretching the bag asymmetrically at its midpoint. And now let's see what happens when we attempt to rotate the IOL. With the help of a Sinskey hook, whilst still maintaining the irrigation in the eye, the optic-haptic junction is held and the IOL rotated. You will now notice with the new position of the IOL haptics, the folds in the posterior capsule also change in their orientation. We now move to completing the visco wash. Following the completion of the visco wash, I then proceed to hydrate first the left side port incision, my main incision, and whilst the globe seems pressurized, I don't see any folds. Upon removal of the irrigation, once more the folds occur once the eye becomes hypotonous. I end with hydrating the right side port incision, and that then brings us to the end of the surgery. Even upon the completion of the surgery, you will notice the folds in the posterior capsule still remain. So in conclusion, folds seen in the postoperative period in the posterior capsule, though seem quite harmless, have a potential of causing significant visual distortions and may need to be addressed, perhaps by performing a YAG laser capsulotomy 3 months postoperatively. This then brings us to the end of the video tutorial. I do sincerely hope you found it useful. Thank you.